Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Good morning and welcome to the Talkbox with Sonja G. I clearly am not Sonja. My name is Dr. 𝐇𝐎𝐏𝐄 Jones. I am standing in here for my good sister and friend, Pastor Sonja, who is recovering at home. If y'all were watching Talkbox on Friday, she was sharing with us that she wasn't feeling well, but she was pressing her way. Well, we have decided to encourage her to rest, get her rest, drink her fluids, and allow God to fully restore her back to her strength. Let me tell you something about when the enemy attacks a person of God with anything, any sickness, illness, frustration, or circumstance, and you may be going through this today. When we come back, oh, it's going to be 10 times stronger. When we get back on our feet, oh, the enemy is going to wish that he did not mess with us. So listen, y'all continue to pray for Pastor Sonja. Y'all lift her up. She is doing better and better each and every hour. And we are just praying her strength. And when she comes back, y'all know she's going to let the enemy have it and let God have his way in her life. But today, you got me on this terrific Tuesday, on this testimony Tuesday, on this truthful Tuesday. But I want to add a new T to the Tuesdays. Can I add a new T? I want to add a new T. While I'm adding a new T, I need y'all to say good morning now. It's early here in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. If you're watching in Tennessee, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching in North or South Carolina, let me know where you're watching from. But I want to go ahead and add a new T. I want to add a new T to the Tuesdays, okay? So just go ahead and get ready because I'm going to do something a little new. I'm going to add a new T to the Tuesdays. My new T to the Tuesdays that I'm adding is Transfigure. I'm adding a new T to the Tuesdays, and it's Transfigure Tuesdays. That's the new T. Okay, terrific, testimony, truthful, and transfigure. I'm adding transfigure to the Tuesdays. And why am I doing that? Because transfiguration is an extremely important part of the Christian walk, and it is underutilized. We do not talk about transfiguration enough. We do not give the moment that Jesus transfigured really the honor that it's due, and we don't implement it into our own lives. So I just want to come on here and encourage you. While you're saying hello down below, I want to encourage you to think about what it would look like if you transfigured, okay? So transfiguration, let's talk about what transfiguration is and what it's not. Most of us are used to transformation. We know transformation. Now hold on with all these big words. I know transformation. I know that I'm supposed to change. I'm supposed to be ye transformed by the renewing of my mind. And yes, that is true. But that is just one stage in the changing process and in the changing cycle. Only one step of change comes from transformation, but there's a different step that comes from transfiguration. So let's talk about Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster defines transformation as a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. And we most commonly know transformations as someone having a body transformation. We know what it looks like when somebody transforms their body, right? So when someone transforms their body, we know what that looks like. It's, oh my God, did y'all see Keisha? 1 minute she was, 319. The next minute she's walking around here 175 and curves like a Coca-Cola bottle and all these different things. What happened? She had a body transformation. So we know the word transformation. We're going from one thing to a dramatic something else. We're going from one stage to a different stage, right? Transfiguration, right? This is the word of the day. Transfiguration is going from one thing to a better thing, one state to a better state, one place to a better place. And here is how Merriam-Webster defines transfiguration. Transfiguration is a complete change of form or appearance into a more beautiful or spiritual state. It is literally getting better. So we don't just want to change, we want to get better. This is what Jesus did in Matthew 17. Jesus didn't just transform and go from one place to the next place. No, Jesus transformed to get better. He transfigured. He didn't just die on the cross just to die. He died on the cross to go to hell, conquer the grave, come back with the keys and give it to us. He transfigured. And so I want to talk to you about transfiguring in your own life. Are you just changing or are you getting better? In Matthew 17, I'm going to read to you about when the transfiguration took place in chapter 2. Well, before that, let's back it up. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up on a high mountain by themselves. There he, Jesus, was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But while he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. But Jesus came and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. Listen, when you transfigure, you're literally going to have all these different types of experiences, all these different types of moments. And it's really a precious and sweet part of the Christian walk. We know fasting. We better know prayer. You better know prayer. But do we truly and honestly understand how to incorporate the act of transfiguration? I don't have long. I'm going to run down some steps real quick so you can put this in your toolbox so you can begin to see the changes that you want to see. Number 1, how do we have a transfiguration? We have to separate. Jesus separated from others to get his transfiguration. In order to get his change from good to great, in order to get his change to the better, he had to get away from everybody. He took the few people that he wanted to bring with him who were going to experience the change. But in reality, Jesus was the only person that transfigured. So we know right there, point number 1, transfiguration is not a group process. There are some days and some moments and some seasons that you will have to go it alone. You're going to have to go it alone on this one, on this time, okay? Everything is not a group conference call. When God called you, he called you. So transfiguration is about separating, right? Sometimes we have to separate. Number 2, to have a transfiguration, you have to create a space for personal intimacy. Not only did Jesus get up and get away to do what he had to do, he also created a space where he and God can operate together. So it wasn't just a physical getting away. It was a mental coming away. It was an emotional coming away. It was a thought process coming away. And I want to encourage you not only to physically get up and go do what you have to do in this season, but also mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Here we go. Socially. Get up and make a move toward intimacy with you and God. Because when you really want to get better, you get better in the places where can't anybody see you. So let me just break it down there just a minute. I don't have very long, just a minute. When people are trying to work on their bodies and their health, most of the time people are getting up at what time, y'all? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, when it's what? Dark. Because I'm trying to get in here and I'm trying to get it in. I'm trying to make it happen. I'm trying to get what I need to get done. It's not cute. It's not pretty. This isn't the cute season. I'm getting in here. I'm trying to sweat. I'm trying to make this fat cry because I want to get that done when nobody's around. I want to get that done when I feel comfortable. I'm by myself. I'm getting it in. Sometimes when it's time for you to do the real work, not the cute work, the dirty work, not the Facebook, Instagram real work, but the work that you do to get the Instagram reel. Sometimes that's done in the dark. So transfigurations take place, not only a physical getting away, but a spiritual, mental, emotional, and social coming away. Number 3, how do we have a transfiguration like Jesus? We make sacrifices to create a clean workspace. Fasting, consecration, all sorts of sacrifice like that is an awesome way to have a transfiguration. When you turn your plate down, or when you turn your cell phone down, woo, that's a big one right there. When you make a decision that I'm going to lay something down, like Jesus laid his life down, when you lay something down, nothing but goodness can come up. I want to encourage you to give God yourself as a sacrifice. You all know that we're in the season of Lent. We're in a season where millions of people are sacrificing leading up unto Easter Sunday. And I encourage you to join me. I'm also observing Lent this year. And I also have made several personal sacrifices of things that I am not doing for the 40 days. And listen, we're on, I think today is the 19th day. So if you want to hop in here, Jesus will not be mad at you. Okay, you can hop in, right? Get in where you fit in and make some sacrifices, lay some things down, put something to the side that your flesh really enjoys, so that you can begin to open yourself up to a different experience. Y'all, I have so much more to share. I have so much more to talk about, but I don't have enough time. So I have to come back and share this with you another time. If Pastor Sonja would be so kind as to have me back, I would love to share more about transfiguration. I have seen transfiguration work in my life. It works in the life of my clients. It's something that I utilize when I'm helping those that I coach. So if you want to learn more about transfiguration, please follow me at Dr. 𝐇𝐎𝐏𝐿 Jones. But listen, until then, I'm going to see y'all on the Talkbox.